Today is World Population Day, a day set aside to remind humanity of the global challenges being faced due to overpopulation. One of the historic significance of population is food sufficiency. To further worsen the threat of food sufficiency is coronavirus pandemic, insecurity challenges across the country, climate change, as well as attitude of Nigerians to food production. Meeting the challenges of food production in the face of rising population is our focus of discussion on this edition of Panorama. Coming to you live from Ibadan Zonal Center on the network service of the NTA. I'm Kemi Akiwande. Thank you for joining us. Bandits early Sunday morning abducted Emir of Kajuru in Kaduna State, Al-Haji Al-Hassan Adamu, including 13 others. Confirming the incident, Secretary of the Royal Emirate Hashimu Ayuba Kajuru says the abductors came in their numbers. The community, he added, has been inundated with security challenges, leading to loss of lives and property. We bring you details in our subsequent bulletins. President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned repeated bandit killings in Zamfara and Kaduna states, urging the nation's military to respond to the worrying situation in a language that the bandits understand. The president noted that the military and other security agencies are now working on new methods and policies that are yielding good results in many of the troubled parts for a response to this killing of innocent citizens in the rural communities. He maintained that the nation, its military and the entire population need to summon the courage required to defeat the bandits and terrorists. The president condemned some politicians who make utterances on security merely seeking applause, advising them to join the ongoing genuine efforts aimed at finding lasting solutions to the challenges facing the nation. While expressing the nation's sorrow over the loss of lives, he urged security from Ogun State have been trained by the National Horticulture Research Institute, NIHOT, on modern vegetable farming for food sufficiency in Nigeria. The Adefeso reports.
Instructors from the
We
national...
sincerely do apologize for the hitch experience from our studio in Ibadan. We hope when they have better signals, we'll go back to them. I'm Elizabeth Omori. The federal government has promised to eliminate all threats to national security as a formidable action plan that will soon be launched to defeat criminality in the country. Secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, stated this after an audience with Zamfara State Governor Bello Mohammed in Abuja. Mitari Ekme reports.
The Zamfara State Governor is the latest state chief executive to defect to the governing APC, and this visit to the SGF provides ample opportunity to deliberate on the spate of banditry as well as counter-terrorism operations in the state and other parts of the country. The SGF says government will spare no resources to guarantee peace and security not only in Zamfara State but across the country.
I can tell you that the federal government is putting up a comprehensive work plan to deal with all forms of insurgency across the nation. It's not only Zamfara that is experiencing that, but you can see that it's pacifying gradually, and I believe that with the collaborative efforts that we are putting in place, would definitely ensure that the Zamfara gets out of the wood and takes its appropriate place and on the path of development and sustainable growth in this country.
We need more truth and more support from the federal government, particularly on the issue of banditry, which we have discussed, and he's going to take our discussion to a higher level.
In a separate audience with Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State, discussions centered on the need to promote national unity.
is to join Mr. President and the Chief of Staff and the SGF to build a united Nigeria.
The SGF assured Governor Umahi that the Buhari administration will work with Southeast leaders to increase infrastructural development in the region. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA.
Katsina Area Command of the Nigeria Customs Service has intercepted contraband with duty-paid value of over 8 million naira. Acting controller of the command, Dalhawada Shedi, who made this known while displaying the seized contraband, says the smuggled items were intercepted at different locations along Katsina border with the Republic of Niger.
The intensified efforts of the Katsina Area Command of the Nigeria Customs Service towards anti-smuggling activities to protect the nation's economy has continued to yield the desired results. As part of the effort, the command intercepted 16 vehicles, either smuggled or served as means of conveying contraband, 217 bags of foreign rice of 50 kilograms each.
We promise them, all those who are really bent on smuggling activities, this is a clear way for them, because we will never allow them to achieve or to get actually what they aim at.
Acting controller of the Katsina Area Custom Command, Dalhawada Shedi, said the interceptions were made along the illegal routes into the country, a reaffirmed commitment to fighting any act of economic sabotage. In Katsina, Shehu Adamu, NTA News.
Into religious matters now, the Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Saad Abubakar, and President, Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, has declared Sunday, 11th July 2021 as the first day of Zulhijjah 1442 after Hijrah. A statement signed by the Chairman, Advisory Council, Committee on Religious Affairs, Sultanate Council Sokoto, Professor Samba Wali Junaidu, the Sultan wishes all Muslims Allah's guidance and blessings. He urged Muslims to continue to pray for peace, progress and development of the country. Sultan Saad wishes all Muslims a happy Eid al-Kabir. The people of Maraba Gukuru Kuchku district and the University of Abuja communities in Nasarawa and the FCT say they will forever remain grateful to President Muhammadu Buhari's administration for the ecological interventions in their areas. This was during the inauguration and handing over of the projects executed by the Ecological Fund Office. Abdullahi Ajia reports.
A first port of call for the marathon inauguration of Ecological Fund projects captured in the second quarter of 2019, as approved by the Federal Executive Council, was the over 8-kilometer access road Gurku IDP camp in Karu local government area of Nasarawa State. With the perennial ecological challenge now history, governments and the contractors are on the same page on the quality of work delivered.
There is no doubt in my mind that the project will enhance and improve the health status, socio-economic activities, and the general well-being of the people of these communities.
We must thank His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for approving this road project.
I also want to use the opportunity to call on all members of this community to guard this laudable project and ensure that the drainage channels are not misused by indiscriminate dumping of waste.
Leaders of the community commended the government for keeping to its word.
I want to sincerely appreciate the federal government of Nigeria for this great intervention.
Thereafter, attention shifted to the University of Abuja, where the academic community benefited from the construction of drainage, retaining walls, erosion control. Another commitment delivered by the federal government was the erosion and flood control works at Kuchiaku 1 district in Kuje Area Council of the FCT. Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
And the standard studio in Ibadan now has better signal, so let's now go back to Ibadan and join Kemi.
Elizabeth, and welcome back to Ibadan. As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark Population Day, one of the challenges of overpopulation is food insufficiency. In this background report, Kayode Oladoshi examines some challenges of food production and its remedy.
A growing population means more mouths to feed. This in turn impacts on the development and operations of the country. Many countries of the world are facing the double burden of undernutrition alongside an unstable climatic condition in the face of increasing population. As a result, ensuring food security in relation to managing the population is essential. In Nigeria, the prevailing weather condition is always difficult to determine by farmers to ascertain how favorable it is in any planting season, making it difficult to predict the level of food sufficiency year in, year out.
There are some crops we cannot continue to practice right now. Too much rain, drought. We have abrupt rain this year, and see 2 or 3 days ago we started having very heavy rain. Already the maize is already has failed. So it is with experience that we now try and change our mode of agriculture.
As these challenges continue to pose threats to farmers, what should be the recommended course of action in ensuring sufficient food for the nation?
We need to set up irrigation, and it consumes a lot of money. But for now, we are bringing together other farmers, network of farmers, whereby we are able to give them all of those things.
We are living in a period whereby there is a lot of changes, so we actually need a shift from the local practices that we've been doing in Nigeria.
Reliance on products of agricultural-based researches and adhering standard practices among farmers, experts say, are some of the ways to sustain sufficient food production for the nation. In Ibadan, Kayode Oladushu, NTA News.
And now with me in the studio is the Dean for Faculty of Agriculture, University of Ibadan, Professor Stella Odebode. Mayo, welcome to our Panorama studios.
Thank you very much.
Now, Professor Odebode, we know that food is one of the basic needs of the 3 basic needs of man. So how significant is food production to the survival of the population?
Yeah, thank you very much. As you have said, food is very, very important, especially to our daily living. Without food, whatever profession you belong, it will be difficult for you to function. And as we know that the population is rising daily in Nigeria, and the food production is reducing, you know, many reasons why this is happening. Lack of rains, and then now when we have rains, we have more than enough rains. And so that is making food to be reduced in the production. Farmers are no longer interested in going to the farm because of the issue of herdsmen problem. You know, the herdsmen go there to disturb them, and so many farmers are afraid to go to the farm. So there are many reasons why this is so in Nigeria right now. Food is essential to answer your question, and we need food, and we need that food to be available, to be accessible to the populace for us to be able to cope with life.
Now you've highlighted some of the challenges of food production in meeting the increasing number of population. Now let's take a look at climate change, which has also been identified as one of the challenges. How could this be overcome in this country, talking about Nigeria?
Yes, I think the issue of climate change is not just coming up. It's been a problem for a long time. And in developed countries have been able to, you know, look for solutions and then provide amenities, you know, especially in institutions, in agri organizations, to be able to meet up with the changing climate. For us in Nigeria, I think the government also needs to come to the aid of the populace by making sure that the issue of climate change is taken into consideration, you know, very essential. We have institutes that could actually have, you know, should be supplied with some amenities that could help farmers, especially during this changing climate. You know, for example, I said that we had shortfall in rains some time ago. Last year it was even worse because the rains came at a very late time, and then the farmers had already planted, and so those who planted their cassava, maize, all of these things got burnt because of lack of rains. And now when the rains now came, they had excess of rains, you know. And so if in that country, that kind of a country, we have a kind of, you know, something like irrigation system, so that during the dry season, at least we could provide for at least the farmers will be able to water, irrigate their farms, and then they get enough food for the season, which is not so in most parts of Nigeria. In some places, we could actually provide borehole, where farmers will be able to put the rubber and then spray their farms during the dry season, or even when we have well. So if we give some amenities to farmers, not in form of money, but in kind, provision of watering cans or making available this sprinkler that the farmers could use. We have maybe tractors to be used by farmers when they need it, so that they could cultivate as many hectares or as many acres they have as possible.
Okay, Professor Adebode, let's move a little bit away from climate change. The herders and farmers conflict is another major challenge. How can we overcome this?
Yes, I think there should be a policy that will help us to, that will guide against these people just coming to destroy lands. And if possible, you have where we can put, in the developed countries, where we put all of these animals, They find a place there ranching, and then they feed the cows there. And in some countries, like in Ghana, you cannot go to Ghana and begin to, follow your cows about the street. It is forbidden. So I think we need good policy that will help, the populace to survive. The government should actually really bring out a policy that will prevent open grazing. We can put these animals in the ranch where they will be taken care of and they will be provided with the grass they need.
What would you want to recommend for food sufficiency in the face of this rising population?
That's what I said. The first one is there should be a policy that, because it's not as if farmers are not planting. But right now, even the ones on the farm, they cannot access it. Why? Because of this herdsmen issue. So I think there's a policy that will prevent that, so that we have, that is one, so that in every part of the state, of the country, cows cannot move up and down to destroy farmland or farmers. That's one. The second one is to educate farmers or the populace as to how they can feed their cows, especially where we have things like that happening, and we have farmers and
Professor Odebode, policy and implementation. Thank you very much for coming on Panorama. Panorama continues in a moment.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
COVID-19 updates amidst fears of detection of the deadly COVID-19 Delta strain in the Federal Capital Territory. 98 new cases were confirmed in Nigeria as at 11 p.m. on Saturday, 10th of July 2021. Lagos tops the chart with 94 new cases, Ekiti 3 and 1 new case in the Federal Capital Territory. To date, 168,540 COVID-19 cases have been recorded in the country. 164,431 have been successfully treated and discharged, while the death take stands at 2,122. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajia Shajia Farouk, says the federal government is not relenting in its bid to lift millions of Nigerians out of poverty through effective implementation of the National Social Investment Program. She stated this at the distribution of engagement letters and tables to even 6 trained independent monitors for the program in Ogun State. Lukman Adefeso reports.
The minister, who was represented, says 56 independent monitors from Ogun State are among 4,452 applicants shortlisted nationwide. She explained that the working tools, which include tablets distributed to the independent monitors, will be used to monitor activities of designated number of beneficiaries under the National Social Investment Program and subsequently report back for optimal performance.
They are engaged with the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development for 1 year to monitor the implementation of these programs in their states, starting from their local governments.
Ogun State Commissioner for Special Duties, Femi Ogubanwo, while commending the initiative, says the state government is committed to ensuring the success of the program.
The roles of independent monitors cannot therefore be overemphasized. Without any doubt, the tablets being distributed will help monitor the effectiveness of the program in Ogun State.
We are sure that we will do our part to the best of our ability without any fear or favor.
I will try as much as possible to serve the country with my whole heart.
Since inception, the implementation of the National Social Investment Program initiated by the federal government has tackled unemployment and lifted many youths and women out of poverty in Ogun State.
Similarly, towards enhancing effective distribution of the National Social Investment Program, the federal government has engaged 66 individuals in Oyo State to monitor the exercise across local government areas in the state. Ifeoluwa Moshuli has the details.
The National Social Investment Program, geared towards poverty alleviation, has as its focus the welfare of children, women and youths. To further expand its reach and ensure equitable distribution of the resources in Oyo State, 66 monitors of the program have been employed and equipped with a charge to be good ambassadors of the scheme in the various local government areas they represent.
And they've acquired enough training skills to go out in the field now with the device that we're giving them today, to go out to give them additional trainings again this afternoon on how to use the application.
They should take the scheme, see it as something beneficial to them. They should take it very seriously, very diligently.
The newly employed monitors, who lauded the efforts of President Muhammadu Buhari, expressed readiness to carry out their duties.
Let me say 5 to 6 years to this time, I'll be graduate from Kwara State Polytechnic and I'm jobless. So I'm very, very happy to be here today.
This opportunity to thank the president and also the minister and every other ministry involved.
The monitors, whose engagement is to last for 1 year, are expected to meet not less than 80% of their target responsibilities monthly in Ibadan. Ifeoluwa Moshule, NTA News.
In our sports, Argentina celebrates Copa America victory as woes in the continental competition continues. Olalekan Kilajolu brings us details on our sports update.
Italy will take on England at the Wembley Stadium later on Sunday to determine winners of the Euro 2020 Championship. While England will be hoping to win their first ever European Championship in front of 60,000 fans in London, Italy will be hoping to repeat the feat of 1968, where they lifted the trophy for the first time. To Copa America, Argentina defeated Brazil by a lone goal to win the 2021 Copa America at the Maracanã Stadium in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. This is the first time they have defeated Brazil in Copa America final since 1937, equaling Uruguay's record as the most successful nation with 15 titles. It is history for superstar Lionel Messi as he lifts his first senior international trophy after making his debut 16 years ago, ending a 28-year major title drought for Argentina. 22nd minute strike from Angel Di Maria was the only effort Argentina needed to win the title.
2 years ago, it was Brazil winning right there on their home turf, but this time Argentina
breaking the 28 years James, they last won the Copa and they won it. For Lionel Messi is the captain of the side.
And in basketball, Nigerian senior men's national team, the Tigers, defeated former Olympic champions USA 90 to 87 points in an exhibition game in USA. The African champions narrowly lost the first and second quarters 22 to 23 and 19 to 20 respectively, but turned the tide around in the third and fourth quarters to beat favorites USA in the international friendly in Las Vegas ahead of the 2020 Tokyo Olympics in Japan.
I've always believed that we can be able to have the top quality players and go into this Olympic, we have a chance of getting to the medal zone.
It just shows that yes, we can be hopeful going to the Olympic Games. That yes, maybe what happened in football in Atlanta 96 can surprisingly happen with the Tigers coming back with a medal. Kudos to them.
The Tigers, who made their debut at the London 2012 Games, will be making their third appearance in Tokyo as they battle Australia, Germany, and Italy in Group B. With sports updates, Olalekan Kilajolu, NTA News.
It's been Panorama from Ibadan Zonal Center on the network service of the NTA. Thank you for watching, and do remember, be a star, connect with the NTA, stand against rape and rapists. Good afternoon.